Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your flipped lesson. We are finishing up week 3, and today we are going to be talking about accountable talk. So today's agenda, we are going to review our learning objective, go over accountable talk in the lesson, make sure that you are taking notes. Okay, that means that periodically you'll probably have to pause the video to be able to fully take your notes, and then we'll discuss the next steps. So today's learning objective, this is what we are ultimately trying to get to, is that we will be able to engage in critical discussions of a text by sharing our ideas and building on the ideas of our classmates. So the whole idea is not just talking, okay, because while talking is important, we want to do more in our discussions, okay? Not only just share our ideas, but build off of others' ideas. So we do this through accountable talk, okay? So first let's go and look at what the word accountable means. Okay, so accountable, it's an adjective, required or expected to justify actions or decisions, and it also means responsible. So when you are speaking, the whole idea of accountable talk is that you are responsible for a number of things, okay, one of which is what you're saying and how you say it. And you're also expected to justify your speaking. You're supposed to be able to explain what you have to say. So you might be wondering, why do we have to go and think about this, and why accountable talk? Well, we have a number of things that we have to be accountable to in our classroom. Okay, and one of them is accountability to the learning community. It's really important that we carefully listen to each other. I know that sometimes when you're in a discussion, sometimes you start to look out the window or get distracted, but it's really important to focus. Another thing is to use and build on each other's ideas. So when somebody says something, you should be able to go and respond to what they specifically said, not just hop off and start a whole new conversation about a different topic. You should be able to paraphrase what people say. So when somebody's done speaking, you can say things like, "So what I hear you saying is." Okay, also you should be seeking clarification. If you're not really sure what somebody says, you could be like, "So what I hear you saying is," and maybe this time you're wrong. So they could be like, "No, I actually meant this other thing." And then finally, and one of the best parts of accountable talk, is respectful disagreement. At no point are you expected to agree with one of your classmates. Okay, it's certainly something that doesn't happen. Okay, you're not going to always agree with someone. But respectfully disagreeing is really important. So you're also accountable for accurate knowledge. So this means that you need to be as specific and accurate as possible. You can't just say things like, "Andy was a good guy." You have to go and explain what about Andy made him a good guy. Okay? Also, you could go and consider whether or not it is accurate that Andy is a good guy. Some people might disagree. That's why that specificity is needed to support your ideas. Next, we have resisting the urge to say anything that comes to mind. So, if you're trying to be accurate, build on others' ideas, okay, come up with unique and interesting ideas of your own. Okay, this doesn't happen by just blurting things out. Okay, forethought needs to come first. Another part of accurate knowledge would be getting the facts straight. So when you are saying the things that you have to say, make sure that the facts themselves are accurate. If you hear somebody who has said something and it is inaccurate, it's your responsibility also to challenge or question or demand evidence for what they're saying. That way you can say, I don't think that that's accurate. Can you tell me where you found that? We also have accountability to rigorous thinking. This would include building arguments. So not just saying something and leaving it, it's building up. One person builds on something else. Linking claims and evidence in logical ways. Working to make statements clear. Okay, that includes both before you speak and once you speak if somebody is confused, clarifying. And checking the quality of claims and arguments. Making sure that things are accurate and that you challenge things, that you question things that somebody else says. So we have a number of accountability talking stems. Okay, we have some for agreement, like I agree with blank because blank. I agree with Sarah because when she said that Andy is a great guy, I also think that. One example of this is, how he wanted to get his jacket off at the end of the story. This shows that he's a good guy because he is changing his ways, let's say. Okay, similarly, I like what Sarah said because, and we could explain it, I agree with Sarah about, and then explain what you agreeing. But on the other hand, so here we have actually kind of a combination of agree and disagree. And then you have confirmation, talking stems. I think, I believe, I feel, all of those. Then we have disagreement stems. I disagree with Sarah because I don't think that Andy was a good character. I think that being in a gang is really a dangerous thing to both him and his community. Or you could say, I'm not sure I agree with what Sarah said because, and explain yourself. Or I can see that Andy might be a good character, however, I disagree, or I can't see, and then you continue to explain. And next we have extension. And here this helps you really build off of somebody. I was thinking about what Sarah said, and I was wondering what if. Okay, I was thinking about what Sarah said about nobody finding Andy and helping him in the alley. And I was wondering, what if the old woman had seen him? Would things have been different? Okay, or this makes me think, I want to know more about, now I'm wondering, can you tell me more about? Or an example of Andy not being a good character is whatever it is that you think it is. So as far as next steps go, if you need to, you can review the video and your notes. Make sure that you write down any questions about Accountable Talk that you still have. There'll be time in the next lesson in class to go over any questions you have. In class, you should have received some paddles to cut out. Make sure that you are cutting them out so that they are all connected and that they have that little stick. Okay, and finally, come to class ready to discuss in an accountable way. Hope you have a great long weekend and have a good night.